Hey, it looks like the window's opening on the second story right now. Hey, they just threw 2 guns out the window. Do y'all copy? They threw 2 pistols out the window.
On the night of January 26th, 2023, Spring Hill, Tennessee police officers were dispatched to the intersection of Saturn Parkway and Port Royal Road, following multiple calls reporting shots fired. This case raises 4 core legal issues: the basis for the search warrant, the timing of the Miranda warning, the destruction of evidence, and joint criminal liability among the co-defendants.
No casing? I don't either.
Female what?
With a hoodie.
Nobody's here though, right?
Kaylee, can you see me? 61 to 38. From my location right here in the intersection, can you have the witness try to guide me closer to where they believe they were standing? So in the center right here where his car is. 10-4, thank you. No, I haven't seen anything.
We were somewhere right in this area. I was telling the other officer.
Okay.
I was at the pumps there watching the whole thing go down. I heard the first pop, looked at the store first. I didn't know it was coming from in the store out here. Kind of glanced over because, I go in there a lot. Everything looked okay in the store, and then I heard the second pop, kind of a little bit of a delay, and then about 3 or 4 more rounds go off. And like I told the other officer, the shooter was in the left lane.
Okay, the shooter was here.
The shooter was in the left lane. The other 2 cars were in the right lane. He walked out of his car, walked up, and started shooting directly at the vehicle.
Okay, so I had my offender was here, second car was here, and he got out and started
front of his car and started shooting into the car.
Not up here?
Yeah, well, they're closer to the light, I believe.
You think it was...
They won't, actually stop at the light.
Here's broken. Here's some glass right here.
But he was literally shooting right...
You're good. Yeah, you can just go around.
I can go straight?
Yeah, you can go straight. We just need this right here. Thank you.
One casing.
You have a casing?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. We got a casing up here.
There's another one.
Yep, right there.
You got cards or something?
Yeah, we'll get it. Okay. If you don't mind. Have you already given your information to the other officer?
Yeah.
All right. If you don't mind, step back there. I'm going to get some pictures. But hey, thank you very much for your help.
Oh, no problem. I used to be a police officer.
Oh, okay. You know the drill then.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
While officers gathered to discuss the situation at hand, the 48-year-old female came back to the scene with her rear window shattered. An officer soon noticed a hole in her front windshield and a bullet lodged in her headrest.
Where you going?
Wait, hey!
My back window just got shot out and had a shot, like someone shot.
Where was this? Right here? You were this victim. All right, pull right there.
I'm scared.
You're okay.
Thank you. I don't know what to do.
You're good. We're looking. Pull right here in the middle, okay? Do you need EMS? Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm just trying to go get my husband.
Where's your husband?
He's at home.
Okay. Well, do me a favor. Pull right here for the moment so we can get out and talk to you, all right?
My body cam's dead.
Okay. Swap it for the moment.
He jumped out and he got crazy. He was like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my goodness. He came.
Do you know who it is?
Nope, I got his license plate.
You got his license plate? Where's his license plate? Did he touch your car at all?
No, he hopped out and because we were all driving and he said I was going hell slow. Right. It was only 30.
Come over here.
I was trying to look for the Tampering vehicle, and when I followed him, he pulled over on the freeway again and hopped out right behind me and pulled his gun. And I was like, oh my God, I kept calling me a hoe, they're pulling his gun. So
hey, yeah. I completely understand. You're excited.
I shot my back window out too. If my dogs were in there, I've been so sad.
Right, come over to me. Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay, so we were driving from my mother's house. My mother's on Lexington Farm, so it happened off of Duplex. Turn on Duplex, turn left. He was coming up Duplex, but there was 2 cars ahead of him. So I turned, and I was going just a little slow, 30, and he kind of came really fast behind me. I cut him off, but I didn't cut him off. And he followed me up until turned onto this road.
Okay.
And he followed me to here. And so I think what upset him was when we turned that little corner right here, he was right up my butt on my ass in my car. And I think, so I kind of slowed down a little bit, because I can't turn that fast, but that's kind of irritating, I get it. But he kept following me. followed me all the way up to here. He was trying to go in this lane. I was in this lane. And he came up to me and was like, call me some kind of name, tell me all things. Call me out. It was like, whatever. We just like exchanged words. Then he hopped out of his car and started shooting. I didn't know he was shooting.
Okay,
the girl in the car kept saying to him, shut up, right here. It was right here.
Okay.
Yep, right here.
Was anybody in the car with you?
The girl was driving. No, I was alone. The girl in the driver's seat kept saying, what are you doing on the left? Stop. I didn't even know it was a gun.
Girl in the driver's seat or passenger seat?
She was driving. He was a passenger. Like a high school kid, I guess.
Okay.
So there's more bullets probably right before 840 turns into 840.
Okay.
He pulled it right there. We both pulled over. He fucking got it and started. He got it and started shooting again toward me. So there might be more bullets
On the Saturn Parkway?
on 840. So this Saturn, so going toward Nashville.
Right.
He pulled over and we both pulled over. So I was like, hey, I didn't know my back was gonna shoot out. He got out and jumped out and started shooting again. I'm like, oh my god. Guy like left.
How did he start shooting on there? Were you guys stopped?
No, he pulled over.
He pulled over, but you kept going, or you pulled over too?
Pull over too.
You did pull over.
I will admit I did.
All right, describe him to me. White male, black
American male. Yes, white boy, white male, 18, 19. And the one that hopped out had black hair, a black mustache. He's the one who hopped out and kept calling me a hoe, saying I better watch out. And then his friend was going to come out and start shooting.
Was granted. As the officers arrived to issue the warrant, they spotted a group of friends who immediately started to panic by opening a window and tossing what appeared to be 2 handguns into a nearby field.
Hey, it looks like the window's opening on the second story right now. Hey, they just threw 2 guns out the window. Do y'all copy? They threw 2 pistols out the window. Yes. Right here. Hey, there's 2 pistols out here they just threw out the window. Did y'all hear me on the radio? Yes. Hey. They opened that window right there and threw 2 firearms right here. I thought y'all heard me.
Did you see them come out?
I literally saw them come out the window. Yes.
Bodycam on?
It's on right now, yeah. 2 handguns. Right there, 1.
Go in there and help secure them.
Okay. There should be one more somewhere around here. Yeah.
Everybody needs to be detained right now. Everybody. Yeah, right now you're a part of this.
Yes, I am.
You got any weapons on you? Y'all sit on that couch right there.
What did you see?
What did I see?
Yeah.
That window open with a broken screen, 2 pistols, the one that Carden got out and thrown out the window.
Which one of y'all threw
I
a pistol out the window?
couldn't tell who it was. It looked like it might have been a female, but I couldn't tell for sure.
That's fine. We don't want any fingerprints on the gun. And everybody's fingerprints that are on that gun is tied to whatever we're looking at.
There was that thrown out the top window?
That's fine. We also have a maintenance man right there that witnessed the whole thing too, so we'll be able to see which one of y'all did that. Where's your phone?
Hey Stephanie, there's a phone right here too.
Can I ask why you're taking our photos?
I'm not a detective, I'm just an officer backing them up.
Tasha? Upstairs, your room.
Upstairs.
What's up, man? You sit down here. What's your name?
Warrant, Silas.
Okay. You can uncuff him. That's cool. And I can go ahead and just do it.
Turn around.
I don't know.
That's fair enough. If you want.
Arlie, okay.
Keep everything on lock.
I fell. Yeah, Sherry, so many people. Guns flying everywhere.
It's too late, Stephen. We call the police.
So, came up here to talk to you for a couple reasons. A, you were down talking to us when guns were being thrown. So I know you weren't throwing guns. You threw the guns out the window.
I have no idea about any guns. I'm not even old enough to own a firearm.
So you're not going to catch a charge for destruction of evidence. But you are going to catch a charge for false police reports. You're lying to us about where you were, where you've been. But anybody else being in this house, told us nobody else was in this house. There's 6 people in this house. You've already lied to me once.
About what?
About there being people inside this
No,
house.
honestly, man, we don't know because I don't like my stepdad's not.
I didn't know. Normally I just stay in our rooms. I really didn't. I didn't know. I haven't seen any of them.
I was asleep. I was in there asleep.
Which one of these guys is your boyfriend?
None of them.
Which one was in the room with you?
The one with the blue shirt.
What's his name?
Nate.
Nate. So he's not your boyfriend?
No.
You guys just in there hanging out?
I was sleeping.
Who was in the room next to you?
Casey.
Yeah.
Nate.
They dating?
She black guys. I don't think they dating.
That's what everybody else said.
I don't hide anything.
No, but you ran upstairs as he came through and told him was here.
You know, she said, no, I didn't. No, I did not.
What did JC say when he came up?
JC said that the police are here.
Well, we heard y'all talking. We had been sitting down there for a while. We heard y'all talking. We heard y'all conversing back and forth. So when you came down here and told me that there was nobody else in the house, that was a blatant lie. So I knew there were more people in this house. And so did you. I'll make you a deal. Start with a clean slate right now.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a no kind of person. I'm going to tell you what I know. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to trick you. That's not who I would. I'm not going to pull the rug out from under you. I'm going to treat you with respect. Right? You're a grown-ass adult, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't like that. I don't want someone to, try to pull out the rug from under me. That's not how I do things. I'm very black and white. Let's just start at the night of the shooting. What do you know?
I honestly have no idea.
I don't know anything. I heard about it. I don't know anything about the shooting.
I don't know why y'all are here, what y'all are looking for. I don't know. I literally just got here last night and stayed the night and woke up to this.
I didn't leave the house that day since 1:20, I believe, because I work as a dog sitter and I also do door dashing.
Where were you?
I was in Nashville.
Well, we was going to Nashville.
Where in Nashville?
I was in Probable.
I think I got back around 4 that day, somewhere around 4 o'clock.
Where'd you go?
I went to a bar over there and just a couple of other bars.
What time were you there?
1, 2, we got there around 8, and we were there late. So
What's the name of the bar?
we went to the Jason Aldean's and then some other rooftop.
I don't know. I wasn't even involved in none of this.
What did you hear?
Nothing, because I don't ask questions. I just live here. It ain't none of my business what the they do. I just go to work and do my.
I'm gonna need to know all the names of the bars because it's gonna. If you were there at the time of the shooting, you're good. So if this is really a good alibi, you're gonna want to help yourself, not hurt yourself.
So I was here for 3 hours, and then after that, I stayed home the rest of the night. I wasn't feeling good, didn't want to go out.
I ain't even part of this shit. I just wanted to black him out. That's crazy.
Well, it might be better you're there. Now you know what you're living with.
Where were you around 10:30 p.m.?
On Broadway.
I knew you were on.
I don't know. I was walking down Broadway, I'm sure. We just did a lot of walking.
I'm a homebody. I don't like going places.
So who pat me down? He had like a whole handful of nuts. That was weird.
That doesn't really match up with what I got.
I felt hands. Good saying you. No, man, it weren't you.
I felt hands.
I felt hands in places I didn't want hands.
And who was driving your road?
As far as I know, it was here. I even went outside to look at something because I thought I heard some yelling or something going on out there, and it was there.
I probably highlighted under mine pretty big.
That's where probably why he had a whole handful, and he was just like, "Oh,
I swear he did.
He probably didn't expect it to be there, man. Like, do you blame him? God.
No, I don't blame him.
The 380, the gun. Whose is it? Well, we have the ammo in your car. We have spent casings in your car. We have spent casings from the scene.
The only 2 people that drive that is me and my boyfriend. That's it.
Which boyfriend's name?
Jason.
Can you explain why we just found several 380 spent?
All I know is this one woman was trying to run our friends off the road, and then she tried to run us off the road or something like that. Honestly, I don't know. I was kind of drunk.
As soon as we pulled out, or as soon as I pulled out, the car in front of the car that was in front of me started brake checking immediately. Like, I don't know why, I don't know what she has going on.
So she tried to slam on her brakes and make us wreck, so we just pulled over off to the side of the road. And then she pulled over right behind us, and then Casey pulled over behind her. And
the woman came up to the car and like shoved him or something like that, shoved him back hard enough for him to fall back into the car.
I seen somebody standing outside of Casey's car, and then I heard a gunshot go off.
And I hear gunshots, that's all I hear.
How many gunshots you hear?
Well, I can't even count, I don't know. I heard multiple gunshots, I'm not gonna lie.
Who's doing the shooting?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I just know I heard gunshots from
Let's try this
behind
again.
me.
Who's doing the shooting? Remember, we already told you that we need to know these answers.
JC.
And?
That's the only person I know that shot. Was JC.
So 100% who was holding the other gun?
After JC, it was Nate.
Okay.
And we've got witnesses putting you at the scene. You know that, right?
I was not there. I was in Nashville. I'm being honest. I heard about
You
it.
know how serious this is, right?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I do.
Hang tight.
You know how, like, you know them one people that don't need a gun? Like,
You won't believe how many.
he's one of them
He's one
people.
of them
He's one of them people that just don't need a gun. Like, even if you're legally allowed to have it, you shouldn't have it.
Sit down, please.
Okay. I'm sorry, sir. I don't.
Look, I wanted to talk to you like a friend. I wanted to give you the chance to actually talk to me.
No.
Now I'm going to go ahead and read you Miranda, okay?
Ma'am, I'm telling you the truth. I promise you, I am.
I still got to read this, man. This is part of my policy.
Does that mean I'm arrested?
Let me just read this out and I'll explain to you what's going to happen. You have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can will be used against you in court of law. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided. Knowing and understanding your rights, as I have explained them to you, are you willing to answer any questions without an attorney present?
No. Am I going? Ma'am.
Okay, calm down.
I don't know anything, man. I promise you.
Well, hey, brother, let me explain. All right, there's multiple rounds in your car. There was negligent rounds fired at people, and oh, I know. Listen to me. So there's a whole lot of people that was put at risk, and there could be potential of multiple attempted murder charges.
I didn't do it. I promise you. I have nothing.
Well, riddle me this much. Why is there not one, not two, three eyewitnesses that gave your exact description?
I really don't know, sir, but I was not there. You
And
can
your
ask my
vehicle
girlfriend.
description, and there's rounds all in it, the same caliber that was recovered from the
No,
scene.
it wasn't. No, it was not me. I promise you. I promise that vehicle was here. It was with my girlfriend. On the description it says a black SUV online. This a white SUV. I promise you. My girlfriend was here. I was in Nashville.
So how does that work whenever I'm going to take these spec casings from your vehicle and match them up with the ones on the scene? How are we going to explain that?
It's not going to be mine.
Somebody else have a gun?
Not that I know of. Those two that y'all found, I don't even know where they came from, man. We were sleeping in here. But I promise you.
The two what?
The two other guns y'all walked in with. That
I
y'all
know what
saw.
happened. I mean, the blinds tore open. They threw them out the back window.
And whose baby was in the back seat?
I don't know. I wasn't in that car. I don't know anything. I didn't even.
Which car were you in?
I was in my buddy's. My buddy's. It wasn't mine.
That red and that green light mean this recording right now.
Yes, sir.
The people that we present these cases to are going to watch this video. And they're going to pick up on the same BS that we're picking up on. Okay? And it's going to go with our reports.
And I only lied to you once, ma'am. And that.
But that doesn't help me.
I know it doesn't.
My first impression you out the gate is you lying to me.
I know, and I'm sorry. I hope I made that better. I'm sorry.
Shut it down. Let's go to somebody that's going to speak it up.
Yeah, we're not going to sit here and keep going in this circle all night because you're wasting our time and we all want to go home eventually. Does that make sense? Hang on.
Am I interested? Can I get my girlfriend a light, please?
We're just placing you back in the car right now.
Yeah, you're good. We're gonna go towards them, okay?
Two white males from Springville.
Whose phone number do you have?
Casey's.
Do you?
Spell your last
It
name.
really don't matter.
They took her phone. Yeah, they took Tasha's too. Y'all took all the phones.
I'll deal with that here in a minute.
Does Hayden have his? Do you know?
They took everybody's phone, bro. Even Casey broke phone. I ain't never been arrested on the say so before, though. This shit
Right?
crazy.
Like, for
Apparently,
real.
We believe that you shot at somebody, so we're gonna charge you with attempted murder and take you to jail.
That's the same thing as me.
You didn't even know my name.
Yeah, it's
Until
the same
now.
thing. That's the same thing. They told me. I was just gonna try and get me the hell out of the war by now.
Pretty sure attempted murder is a felony.
For sure, you guys on top. Okay.
At this point, I'm finna be in this bitch, so I can't really do much more. It's still.
Before you come in here, you got anything on you I need to know about drugs, weapons? Once you come in here, it's a felony. What are they charged with?
Detective Gillum's in there right now, so she's talking to the
Ain't we
magistrate.
supposed to know that before we get arrested too? I ain't never
Yeah,
been arrested without being
Okay.
told what I'm being arrested for.
I got you. You were already told, so
Actually, I really wasn't.
I've listened to her tell you. Okay, cool. I'm gonna drop this off. If you want to send the food text, cool.
The first issue concerns probable cause for the residential search warrant. Under the 1983 Supreme Court decision in Illinois versus Gates, the court established the totality of the circumstances test. Under this standard, the informant's veracity and basis of knowledge are weighed together as a unified inquiry, rather than as the two independent prongs required by the earlier Aguilar-Spinelli framework. In this case, the tip from an anonymous citizen informant was corroborated by three independent sources: eyewitness statements at the scene, recovered shell casings, and a photograph of a shot-out taillight provided by the informant. This multi-source corroboration substantially exceeds the minimum threshold required under Gates, and the resulting search warrant rested on a solid legal foundation. The second issue concerns when the Miranda obligation attaches. Under Miranda versus Arizona, decided in 1966, statements made during custodial interrogation are inadmissible unless the suspect was first advised of the right to remain silent and the right to counsel. The 1984 decision in Berkemer versus McCarty refined the custody analysis. A person is in custody when, under the totality of the circumstances, a reasonable person would not feel free to leave. Under Michigan versus Summers, decided in 1981, officers executing a search warrant may detain occupants of the premises during the search, for both officer safety and the preservation of evidence. However, this detention does not automatically trigger Miranda obligations. The legal question is when questioning crosses the line from an investigative detention into actual custodial interrogation. In the footage, Detective Gilliam administers the Miranda warning near the end of the interrogation. A defense attorney could plausibly file a motion to suppress targeting statements made prior to that point. That said, under New York versus Quarles, decided in 1984, the public safety exception permits officers to ask questions before administering Miranda when addressing an immediate threat, such as the location of a weapon on a suspect's person. The third issue is tampering with evidence. Under Tennessee Code Section 3916503, knowingly destroying or concealing evidence with knowledge of an ongoing investigation is a Class C felony. The two firearms thrown from the second-story window during the warrant approach are direct evidence of consciousness of guilt under Federal Rule of Evidence 404B and the equivalent Tennessee rules. Moreover, this conduct constitutes a separate, freestanding offense, independent of the outcome of the underlying charges. This is why Nathan Grove was charged with tampering with evidence in addition to the other counts. The fourth issue is joint criminal liability. Under Tennessee Code Section 3911402, a person is criminally responsible for the conduct of another when they solicit, direct, aid, or attempt to aid the commission of an offense. This is the legal basis for charging Juan Salas with the same primary offenses as Nathan Grove, even though Salas may not have personally pulled the trigger. Under complicity liability, the prosecution does not need to prove which defendant fired which specific round. The principal charge, attempted second-degree murder, combines Tennessee Code Section 3913210 with Section 3912101. The offense requires proof of a knowing intent to cause the death of another person. Firing multiple rounds into the driver's compartment of an occupied vehicle, with one round embedded in the headrest mere inches from the driver's head, is conduct from which a jury could reasonably infer the requisite intent. The charge stack in this case includes attempted second-degree murder as a Class B felony, and possession of a weapon during a dangerous felony under Section 391713224, which carries mandatory consecutive sentencing. Next, reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon is a Class E felony under Section 3913103, and for Grove, an additional charge of tampering with evidence as a Class C felony. This stacking structure produces potential sentencing exposure spanning decades because the firearm enhancement runs consecutive to, rather than concurrent with, the underlying felony sentence. The girlfriend who drove one of the suspects was charged with accessory after the fact under Tennessee Code Section 3911411 for assisting in concealing the offense after its commission. A noteworthy legal wrinkle. The 8-year-old victim was also arrested that night for DUI under Section 5510401. This arrest does not legally diminish her status as a victim. However, defense counsel may invoke the DUI to challenge her perception, recall, and credibility as a witness at trial, under Tennessee Rules of Evidence 607 and 608. On interrogation tactics, under the 1969 decision in Frazier v. Cupp, officers may employ pressure techniques, including partial misrepresentation of the evidence, so long as they do not cross the threshold into coercion. In this case, the investigators confronted the suspects with actual physical evidence, reminded them of the legal consequences of false statements, and pointed out inconsistencies in their accounts. All of these are legally permissible techniques. Evaluation of the Spring Hill Police Department. B+. The decision to position an outside containment officer to observe the perimeter during the warrant execution is a textbook example of perimeter security in tactical doctrine. The principal area for improvement is the timing of the Miranda warning. Some pre-warning interview content carries suppression risk if defense counsel pursues it aggressively. Evaluation of Nathan Grove. D-. Identified as the alleged primary shooter who fired into an occupied vehicle. His participation in destroying evidence operates as an aggravating factor. Combined sentencing exposure could exceed 20 years. Evaluation of Juan Salas. D. He initiated the chain of confrontation by exiting his vehicle to verbally engage with the victim. Under complicity principles, he faces the same primary charges as Grove, despite not pulling the trigger himself. Evaluation of the 8-year-old victim. C+. She was the victim of a serious, violent crime. However, her decision to follow the suspect's vehicles to obtain a license plate, rather than disengaging and calling 911, exposed her to the second shooting incident. Lesson number 1. For drivers. When confronted with a road rage situation, disengage immediately. Drive directly to a police station or a populated public area. Call 911, and never pursue the other vehicle. Lesson number 2. For investigators. Position outside containment for any residential warrant where weapons or destructible evidence is suspected. This single tactical decision was decisive in the present case. Lesson number 3. Administer the Miranda warning early and clearly, the moment the encounter shifts from an investigative detention to custodial interrogation. Any delay creates room for a successful motion to suppress. Lesson number 4. For citizens. Anyone in custody has the right to remain silent under the Fifth Amendment and the right to request counsel before answering any questions, as reinforced in the 1981 decision in Edwards v. Arizona. Lesson number 5. Anonymous tips have real investigative value. Civilian cooperation with law enforcement is an essential component of the criminal justice system, and it was the decisive factor in this case. According to the Spring Hill Police Department's press release dated January 31, 2023, both suspects were arrested and charged within 5 days of the incident. All allegations are presented under the presumption of innocence until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction, consistent with foundational principles of American criminal justice. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found this content informative, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you in the next one.